Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. This one is actually one that I'm pretty excited to bring to you because I got into the beta of Overwatch. Of course, this new beta build comes 2 months after they shut the beta down to add in new features. So today, I'm going to give you an overview of those new features and tell you what I think about them. So first of all, let's talk about progression systems and specifically the loot box. Currently, I don't have a loot box. I will, through the magic of editing, show you what it's like to open one up. But quite simply, you click open loot box, and then you get a whole bunch of loot. They're in 4 different categories. You've got common, rare, epic, and then legendary. And I'll show you what those rewards are in a second. You will notice, though, there is a shop button there. It's currently grayed out. It seems like at a later date, you will indeed be able to purchase them for, I assume, for real-world cash. Now, these loot boxes and the rewards that you get from them have absolutely no impact on the gameplay. There are no sort of player power items. And all these rewards tie into the hero gallery. So let's have a look at it. Now, the hero gallery, as you can see, for every single character, details all of the different unlocks. We're going to start off looking at Tracer. So let's have a look at her skins. You can see that most of the skins are simply just recolors of her current look. And a little bit less vibrant and crazy with the rare ones. The epic ones are a little bit more out there. And then you get a slightly more unique model going on with the legendary ones. You can also see a bunch of numbers here. What are those numbers? And if you look at the top right, it says I've got 0 credits. Well, if you get 4 items from a loot box, and then you get a second loot box, and you get a duplicate of one of the items you already own, for an example, let's just say I already have this blue skin. If I get it a second time, I will get 75 credits. I'm then able to use those credits to unlock anything. This is a bit like if you get dupes in Hearthstone and they turn into that arcane dust that you can then use to purchase any other in-game card. I honestly think this is a pretty cool system. Now, for the sake of everything, I'll just go through everything with Tracer, and after that, I'll go through only their legendary skins for the sake of time. Overpwn do have a full look through all the characters available if you want to see that in more detail. So, for example, there's Cheer, Taunt, a few different emotes going on for her. We've got victory poses, so that's the pose she will throw in the kind of victory screen of the game. All quite cool looking. We've got sprays. These actually operate similar to Counter-Strike, where you can run in and spray one of these on the wall. Now, the sprays are actually unlocks rather than something that you can just upload yourself. That means, well, they're all going to be in-game. There'll be no dongs or anything like that, which I think suits a Blizzard game a little bit better. Now, we've got our highlight intro, so there's the backflip. I believe this is what happens when you log into the game and the character sort of pulls a cool pose. We've got that, just in time. These are very cool looking. And then finally, serious business. So that is what is unlockable for every different character. You can see there, 119 total unlocks for Tracer. Well, it says 69 here, so I don't know what's going on. But as you can see, there is a load of different unlocks. So the legendary for Bastion is this kind of overgrown one. There we go. The legendary for DVA currently isn't in. Right now, legendary skins are not actually available for everybody. Genji, he kind of looks cool no matter what. Hanzo actually does have some legendary, some extremely cool ones. So there's him when he's young. And there's a wolf skin, which is, I think, one of the coolest skins that they've got in the game currently. As for Junkrat, nothing special, but we do have some slightly more cool variants for Epic. Moving on to Lucio. Again, nothing crazy, so the legendaries haven't been added yet, and I'm just going to assume that they will be adding more legendary skins as time goes on. McCree has also got one of the coolest legendary skins, this Gambler skin. Extremely cool looking and sort of evocative of maybe a, kind of Western Desperado kind of guy. Moving on to Mei, we've got a few different skins for her. There's Firefighter, so her dressed up as a firefighter makes sense. She's an ice-based character. We move on to Mercy. Now, you'll see that the heroes who have been in the game for the longest are generally the ones who've got the cool skins. And yeah, this is a Viking kind of Valkyrie one. Really, really, really cool looking. And there's a devil one if you're, if you want things to be a little bit more saucy. Moving on, we've got some for Farah. And here's her security chief one. So I think the lore behind this is back whenever she was in the security forces before all the crazy Overwatch business went on. Now, Reaper, well, those of you who are familiar with a particular, it's the Mexican Day of the Dead, isn't it? So that's, I think, extremely cool looking. And then we've got one of presumably him before he turned into a complete edgelord. We move on to Reinhardt, who has, well, this very cool, I think BlackRock-ish inspired set, and then this other one. Both just extremely badass looking sets of armor. As for Roadhog, he does have someone, so here's a Toa one. Very cool. And then another variant. We've got Soldier 76, who currently just has this, which I assume is like him before he, again, turned a little bit edgy. Soldier 76 is a bit edgy in what he's wearing. Some very, very cool ones for Symmetra. I forget the name of the god that's clearly inspired off, but whatever, it looks very cool. Both some very, very cool, unique skins. As for Torbjorn, what does he have? Well, he's got one that puts him as a biker, which I'm very much a fan of. And Valkyrie's one is a more hardcore looking biker. Very cool skins. You know, if you look at, say, the cooler skins that are going on, I've already looked at Tracer, that are going on in Heroes, you can see similar stuff here. Now, Noir, this is a skin that's available via pre-order. You know me, I don't like things being only available via pre-order, so that's a bit shit. Her other skins, though, are pretty badass looking too, so that's always good. We move on to Winston. Now, what do they make Winston look like? Here's him in a very sort of cool-looking suit, I suppose. An undersea version of Winston. And then finally, Safari Winston, which, yeah, I'm a big fan of. I think the art style of this game is great. Move on to Zarya, who has the industrial skin, so she's, well, a bit more geared out, I suppose. And then finally, Zenyatta, who has this extremely, extremely cool looking skin. Yeah, once again, guys, Blizzard are just blowing away with skins. And all these skins, I mean, come on, you can miss them. They're just recolors. So that's pretty much it for the hero gallery. Now, how do you unlock this stuff? What's going on with your character and stuff like that? Well, after every game, you gain experience. You can see I'm currently level 6. And the amount of experience is based on how well you do. So that's how many kills you get, how many people you heal, how good you are playing the objective, all of those different things. These are a bit like Paragon levels in Diablo 3. You can just keep on earning them and earning them and earning them, and that number will go very high. I found that I have got a loot box every single time that I've gained a level. And I'm 99% sure I got a loot box another time, so it seems like loot boxes are a guarantee upon hitting a new level, or something that can happen randomly, I assume, in a decently rare fashion. They've also somewhat changed up a few different menus, so if I look at play here, there's quick play, which is just throwing you into any of the game types, and I will talk about the new game types and maps soon. Play versus AI, and then custom game, which is essentially a private game with friends and the AI. We also have our career profile, so you can see I've played the game for 2 hours and 16 minutes since the beta came out, 10 games, 6-4 win-loss. I've only played Tracer since this has came up. I've got 171 eliminations, 111 final blows to 46 deaths, which I'm quite happy with, though if you're mainly playing Tracer, you should have very positive kill-death ratios and things like that, because that is how Tracer should be played, and 61 solo kills. Overall, like, she is by far my favorite hero. I think the design behind that character is absolutely wonderful. We have a full breakdown of stats. This is a little bit like in World of Warcraft when you open up the achievements pane, you look at the stats, you can break this down by hero. I think this is a brilliant feature and very helpful, and it's always nice to run sort of into data, and then you can always change your player icon, things like that, which is, again, very, very cool. So, with that covered, and with, I suppose, you lot having a rough idea of what the new progression system is, let's talk about the new game type. So, I've already played a few of, well, it's only one, it's called Control. I've already played a few matches of it, and I had an absolutely brilliant time. The way it works is quite simple. There is a single objective on the map. It takes a number of seconds for any given team to capture that objective, and unlike a lot of maps where one team is defending and the other is attacking, both are attacking the same objective. And whoever owns the objective will get points, and once they hit 100 points, they will win. So it's essentially, guys, it's a King of the Hill, but it's a King of the Hill that works really well with the mechanics of Overwatch. The timing of all of the different ultimate abilities, and that in combination with when you kind of get like big groups of players who are clumped up inside the objective zone, makes it extremely fun. Now, playing that as Tracer has been really, really engaging for me, because I can go around the objective, over to the enemy side of the map, I can kill their reinforcements, take out their turrets, and do all the stuff that I need to do as a Tracer player to ensure that the rest of my team actually has a good chance of winning the game. Now, that map, or that game type does come with a few different maps. There's Nepal, and there is also the Lijiang Tower. These are both very cool. So, Nepal I played a little bit of. I'll try to get correct footage in here so you can see what they look like. Both, I think, very nice looking, though, as you can see, I only had 2 hours of playtime, so it's not like I'm going to be able to give you a complete, or, like Counter-Strike experts breakdown of the maps. What I will say is none of them particularly frustrated me, and I found that they were both quite enjoyable. There are a number of other maps too, from what I can tell. There was one based, I believe, in Nigeria, but don't quote me on that, and some other stuff like that. The original maps are, of course, also back, and they have rebalanced a whole bunch of heroes as well. So as far as some of the gameplay tweaks, there just have been balances to all of the different heroes, but they've changed how ultimates work a little bit, and the players don't gain ultimate charge from taking damage. The idea was you could be a tank character, and the more you're good at soaking damage with a healer behind you, the more your ult charges up. However, that led to some balance issues where people were purposely taking damage and things like that, which they didn't like. So now ultimate charge will slowly generate over time for all heroes, and from my experience, it does charge up faster when you're actually killing stuff. To accommodate for these changes, though, they have rebalanced the cost of the various different ultimates. So ideally, this will be cutting out the problem while still preserving pretty much the same kind of regular gameplay. I've also seen a number of fixes so far. As an example, both Torbjorn and Bastion are a little bit different. Torbjorn's turrets seem to be a little bit weaker, but do a little bit more damage, so they're more counterable in my experience. DVA has been changed a little bit, but I still hate playing against her. And overall, there's just some nice quality of life and balance improvements to the various different classes of the game. So overall, with an additional stage of the beta, what are my thoughts on Overwatch? Well, first of all, it has only been 2 hours, but a lot of the changes in terms of gameplay, the kind of stuff I would have expected anyway, and what this video is really about is talking about the business model and stuff like that. I think Overwatch has a fantastic business model. The maps and the characters are free for the duration of the game, at least so they say. That seems to be how they're doing things, right? So the maps and characters, the stuff that affects gameplay is free, and anything that's additional monetization is just coming via cosmetics. I'm pretty happy with that. It's different from, say, Heroes of the Storm in that in Heroes, it's harder to earn those cosmetics via in-game gold, and you have to purchase every hero, whereas with Overwatch, you get access to every hero, and new maps, etc., will all be included in the box price. I do see Blizzard as trying to build this out as a service platform, though, so I can see them drastically expanding what they're doing with the loot box system, trying to drive more people towards that. Hopefully that never affects gameplay, but that absolutely is a concern to keep in mind. Though I sincerely doubt that they would compromise the gameplay of this game for the sake of, selling a boost or something. That would really be quite silly. In fact, if the leveling system is supposed to be similar to Diablo Paragon levels, then selling a 50% experience boost is frankly a bit stupid. So I doubt that's going to happen. Overall, it's looking like it's a business model that I personally am quite receptive to, that has players who are really experienced. Unlike in, say, Call of Duty, right? The more you play this game, the cooler you look. It's not the more you play this game, the stronger you are at a base level. I think that's really good for the game balance overall. Instead of a rich get richer, it's the more skilled, well, just continue to be skilled players, and it's not like they're getting extra things stacked in their favor. So overall, that's pretty much it for this video. I thought I'd just give you a little bit of a update on how Overwatch is going. I'm having an absolute blast with it, and good luck getting into the beta. There was a new wave of beta invites that came out with this new sort of resurgence of the beta, so hopefully you got in. If it pleases any of you, I didn't get in via YouTube. I got in the old-fashioned way, the Overwatch. CM team have absolutely no idea who I am. So, yeah, there was no strings pulled or anything. I just kind of got in randomly. The previous time I got in, it was actually on the beta weekend. Quite a lot of people I know have got in, like just personal friends and things like that, so it seems like this was a big enough wave. Anyway, look, best of luck getting in, and that's it for my thoughts. Thank you very much for watching this video. Let me know what you think down in the comments. If you want to talk about it further, hit me up directly on Twitter. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.